your January 2022 soul story. This month you're going to be asking yourself, should I, could I, can I? The answer is going to be yes, but it needs to come from a place of love. So this is Romy. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to give you a breakdown of some of the key astrological dates and the energy conversations that are playing out, some intuitive messages to help you to navigate through the next few weeks. So welcome to a brand new year. We're opening up January with the energy of the Seven of Pentacles, the Seven of Earth. Now I do see you deep in assessment mode, and I like this energy for you because we are still working with Venus retrograde through till the 29th. We're also going to be welcoming Mercury retrograde in the sign of Aquarius in your 7th house before it shifts into Capricorn later that month. So that happens on the 14th and then moves retrograde in Capricorn on the 24th right through to February the 3rd. Now, for you, this is a month, and I want to say to you, Leo, it's a very confronting month. Now, I don't mean confrontational. What I mean is that you are prepared, eyes wide open, to really address things, to look at them straight in the eye, to confront difficult subjects, have those difficult conversations. And you're really going to be coming from this place of living a new, honest narrative and storyline with yourself. That's going to be so important in terms of the communication and the way that you're able to see a way forward. Now, the Seven of Earth is also suggesting that there's so much investment that has already been made in certain areas of your life. And so is it a month to give up on things? No, it isn't. However, it is an opportunity for you to put absolutely everything on the table and to start to see if there might be more options, additional information, or an opportunity to research and see what more can be added to something to find perhaps a more aligned way forward for you, okay? Now, I don't want you to get frustrated if you feel that lately some of the expectations that you've had in certain areas of your life haven't been met, because honestly, that energy investment that you've made, it's still going to deliver for you, Leo. Maybe not in the ways that you'd hoped it would or that you'd expected in a certain timeline, but the universe has this karmic bank for you, and I really feel that January is a month where you're going to start to see things that you've never seen before. It's that discerning mind that's so important. You need to be questioning absolutely everything, okay? And really coming at it from a place of how valid is this for me in my own personal experience. Now, the energy of January is going to feel quite restless for all of us. Untamed and unmanaged, this can feel a little bit anxious, okay? But what we have is an energy for you that says there's magic behind some of the mess, okay? So where things feel overly complicated, where you feel like you can't do right for wrong, where there doesn't appear to be a particular solution, and perhaps that's putting you into a place of indecision or stagnancy. The Four of Water can sometimes put us in that frequency of just feeling like I don't know which way to go, and there's nothing that's really readily available for me to kind of tune into, and you can become quite listless and almost like lose a little bit of your spark here. But actually what I want to say is that, you know, these whales, they're on a migratory path right now. So they're moving towards something. How much are you willing to invest is what I want to say with both that Seven of Earth and the Four of Water for you as we look at the opening of January. Because what you're willing to put into something is going to be directly related to how many options start to show up for you, okay? There's something that you need to be open to, which if you are pinching yourself off or becoming too jaded or feeling disenchanted about the way things have unfolded so far, it's going to almost it's going to be right there, but you're not going to see it. You know, when you have that, you can't see it for looking. So the answer's right here in January. Be under no illusion to that. Now, of course, with these retrograde energies, sometimes communication can be a bit misconstrued. There can be some misunderstandings that take place, but I don't see that confusion being necessarily problematic. In fact, in some ways, I feel like it's an opportunity for you to keep articulating and to keep communicating until not only do the other parties fully understand where you're coming from, but you yourself are almost getting clearer and clearer because you're having to say it so many times. So again, don't feel frustrated if that's an experience that you come up against through the month of January, okay? The more you go over something, the more you try to explain it or put forward your position or your point of view, it's strengthening and clarifying something for you. That's going to be really important. Now, we've got a new moon coming in the sign of Capricorn on the 2nd, giving you a beautiful cosmic boost of energy. I want you to take advantage of that. I want you to preserve that energy and make it work for you all the way through this month, okay? In that 6th house, it's going to be about putting some new rituals and sacred practices in place and really making sure that the way that you want to show up, how you want to be of service, is in alignment with things that truly matter for you now. Okay, there is a sense, I think, in January of you having to approach something a little bit differently. Now, you have the goddess of fire coming in here. This connects into the energy of the King of Wands, and you're deep in the kind of mixing of this, whatever is being put into this cauldron. And so you're very focused on this, and there is this kind of alchemical quality going on. You know that you need to add things. You know that you need to change something up. There's still an experimentation process that's unfolding in January, and that's beautiful because that aligns perfectly with the energy. It's going to be a month where you're going to see and come into an understanding of where bridges can start to show up for you. What do I mean by that? Where you're sitting there thinking, how on earth do I get from A to B? How do I make that happen? This migratory feeling that I'm picking up here is almost like there's two things. One, it's a sort of innate pull. You know, there's certain times of the month, especially as we build to the full moon in Cancer coming in on the 17th. There's this innate pull to just move into the right space energetically, to connect into the right people and to have those answers come in by way of spiritual downloads. Remember, Jupiter now in Pisces is going to be a beautiful transit for all of us to be continuing to allow that awakening in our spiritual work. Our creativity gets reignited. We feel more inspired. Anything that we're doing around any kind of projects that require us to pull insights and information from our hopes, our dreams, the things that we are envisioning for ourselves. These are all really amplified all the way through May. So this is going to be really supportive for you, okay? But there's also this feeling that you do need to switch something up. You do need to change something. And it's not because necessarily things haven't worked. It's just because there's going to be an awareness from you. And I think the universe is going to start to deliver signs, and perhaps even you're going to have some important conversations around that full moon, especially as Uranus is going to station direct right after on the 18th. And, you know, you're going to have that slight disruption of energy, and in terms of what you've been working on internally during that transit is going to have to come to a point now where it's just ready to be actualized. Now, you have number 8, healing. Now, this deck is interesting because it flips up some of the major arcana in terms of their placement. So healing is actually temperance instead of the energy of strength. I thought it was an interesting deck to use for the new year, just to give us that kind of pattern interruption. So you have temperance here, which again is about kind of the alchemy, finding that right perfect balance, knowing that we keep needing to add and take away things. You're going to be getting to know yourself in a much deeper way through the course of January, and how that's going to transpire is because the new changed responses that you have on an emotional level to different experiences and conversations are really going to demonstrate to you the growth. And you may even find in January that, you know, you're really missing someone or something, and yet you're still choosing not to return to it or not to re-engage with it, even though we're in that retrograde energy. And for some of you, I think that's going to be really important, because there is this feeling about being able to break cycles and really sort of move out of this place of denial that may have held us in a specific resistant place. So you've got the Ace of Cups, Ace of Water coming in here, beautiful renewal energy. And temperance does suggest there's a little bit of a timing quality to this. January is an interesting month because there's an awful lot going on, and yet at times it's going to feel quite quiet and introspective, and then by the time you get to the end of the month, it's going to be like, wow, like how on earth did so much occur in really just one short calendar month? But this is the way the energy is going to be all the way through 2022, so we really want you to kind of get on board with how that feels. Now, Ace of Cups suggests to me that there is a powerful need for you to take care of yourself, making sure energetically that you're not being depleted, or aware of the wise investments that you need to make. And it really is in the sort of baby steps. So where you have this could I, should I, can I, and the universe is saying to you, yes you can, yes you should. It really is about you making sure that it's coming from a place of love. And what I mean by that is this representative of me respecting myself, of me taking care of my own needs, wants and desires, of me ensuring that I'm communicating what I need right now. And that if we come at it from a place of sort of the baby steps, Leo, it means that they're meaningful for a start. You have time to process, but you also have time to change your mind and be adaptable, because in retrograde, that's also going to be important, okay? So here we have the energy of love coming through, the lovers, again, in a flip of the major arcana. And there's a real sense of devotion here. So with the Ace of Cups and the lovers, there may be some beautiful renewal that's happening for some of you, both on the internal with the self, but also perhaps with some important areas in your life. You may fall back in love with something that you haven't spent time doing for a long time. Through this opportunity to revisit connections and relationships and be truthful and honest in this new narrative, you may also find a new level of understanding and be able to take something to the next level. Now, Venus is going to shift direct in Capricorn on the 29th, so I believe that by the end of this month, you will have a much clearer feeling about where you stand, specifically from a love perspective, if you have an active connection and you're going through some stuff, or you certainly have been over the last few weeks, okay? Again, what are you willing to invest in here? It's not just about what you need from the other person, it's also about what you're prepared to put forth. And like I said, having everything on the table is going to be really helpful for you. Okay, so you have the energy of the pilgrim here. You're on the move. I love that this one step is sort of about to be made, so it, like we said, it's kind of baby steps, but there's a beautiful sense of trust here. You've got the fox energy. The sky is clear. There's stars here that are guiding you. You're barefoot, so you're connected and you're feeling grounded. And so there's quite a sense of certainty that's coming in for me when I connect into Leo in January, and I really like that. Now, part of this, and this is an interesting one, it's going to be acknowledging that you're not for everybody, but equally everyone isn't for you. And that might be quite confronting in and of itself, because for some of you that could really flag up some feelings of rejection or abandonment, or feeling judged or criticized, but really coming to a place where you can start to detach and take things much less personally, and really come to a point in time that says, you don't have to be on the same page as everybody you come into contact with. You don't have to share the same beliefs and value systems. What you need to do is to get really clear and really aligned with what matters to you, how you want to live your life, how you want to embody the things that you've learned in your journey, and then positively expect that you're going to start to vibrate and magnetically draw towards you people that do feel the same way. So if you're coming up against that experience, because 7th house energy in Aquarius season, is going to put a firm focus in and around relationships, and it may be that you'll be hitting up against some of that uncomfortable feeling that, you just can't get on the same page as other people, or perhaps others are making certain judgments about you. 10 of Air, 10 of Swords is a release energy. It's about saying, there's nothing here for you anymore. There's nothing nourishing or rich to be able to explore with those people that are never going to be able to see what you see, or speak the same language as you. And actually, I think it's going to be so cathartic when you give yourself the opportunity to just let go. to just let go and to make peace with that, because it's giving you the opportunity to redirect all of that beautiful energy back into the things that are going to be really serving you. So yes, there may be some sort of ending coming in, or some sense of just feeling like there's maybe specific person or an experience where you feel a little bit let down, or a little bit kind of pushed out, or someone's behavior or their actions are just going to really surprise you. But honestly, like, I think it's going to take just a hot minute before you actually are just able to kind of shake it off and be like, okay, you know, it is what it is, and I'm just ready to actually look at everything in my life that is moving in the direction that I want it to. This is what I mean about confronting the situation, the emotion, but not in a confrontational way. So I don't see big arguments, I don't see a lot of drama. What I see is you kind of observing, really taking time to consider what it means for you, and then making an informed choice about what comes next. Now, I feel like there are going to be more offers on the table for you, both personally and professionally, through the month of January. I feel like that's also going to require from you a sense of needing to be confident in yourself, not talking yourself out of it because you feel you're not equipped or you don't have what they said they're looking for. Do you know, I have this sense of just like somebody kind of wanting to choose you or putting something forward, and you feeling like you were second choice or second best, and it's kind of, you know, am I just a backup option here, whether that's coming in from a relationship perspective or something that might be going on around work or career. And the short answer is no, you're not. The universe has conspired to make this happen. So don't unpick or unravel or sabotage this opportunity because you're attaching a meaning to it that actually isn't really what the truth is. And so yes, you might not be what that person or situation thought they were looking for, but actually you are going to be the perfect fit and the right energy for it, okay? So just own that and feel strong and comfortable in it, okay? And again, when I'm talking about this sort of sense of frustration of expectations not being met in certain areas that you'd invested in previously, this is also perhaps a little bit of a karmic with that balance, that energy coming back in to really give you the opportunity to have something that's meant for you come back in on your path, even if it's not coming in the way that you'd expected it to be dressed up. All right, so just keep a firm idea on that. The key is to keep communicating this month. The more you can communicate with yourself openly and honestly, and with others from this new narrative, this new storyline that's very authentic, coming from a strong energetic integrity, then the more you're going to start to see things coming into alignment. And it's a number 6 years, so for all of us, the emphasis is around relationships, but finding that sense of harmony and equilibrium within the self so that we can deliver that into every single experience and how we show up. Mars shifts into Capricorn on the 24th of the month, and here I feel like you're also going to have that sense of discipline to be able to move towards some of the goals and the things that are important to you. Even though January technically is a new year, I think much more I align with it being into the spring, into equinox energy. And so take this as a bit of a dry run, you know, and don't look as sort of this month to deliver you all the answers in terms of what you think can unfold through the course of the next 12 months, because this is definitely a time to keep looking at the research and all of the options of things, and understand that some of the bridges that come in are going to transport you way further than you thought was possible, because we're now working with this new frequency. Yeah. So Aquarius energy, 7th house, also means that you're going to have surprising new connections show up that can be very helpful for you in your life, in whatever thing that you're meant to be directed or focused upon. So be aware that the universe is working in your favor for that to happen. And at the same time is also going to be mirroring things that perhaps you need to heal or address as reasons that you sometimes hold yourself back or pinch things off. So your oracle card is Healing Earth, the power to give and receive. I think the reciprocity in relationships is going to be highlighted, especially in that second half of January. As we come to the end of Venus retrograde transit, you'll have learned a huge amount. Remember, her emphasis is around our relationship to money, to abundance, to our own value, our value consciousness, and to our relationships. Healing earth is important because it's wanting that sense of you reconnecting. How do you ground your energy? It's going to be really important, especially with that sort of sense of feeling quite restless through the month. And if there are lots of things on the table to be looking at, if there's lots of options that feel like it could get a little bit overwhelming, I don't see you being overwhelmed, I'll be honest with that. But what I do think is that you would have the tendency to feel a little bit ungrounded. So just make sure you're being very disciplined in that regard with what it takes to kind of help support and anchor you, okay? Remember what I said, you need to be breaking things down if it feels insurmountable, because there's so many solutions that are going to come through. But I feel like there is a directive in January, Leo, for you to do something differently. And in doing something differently, that almost sort of pattern interruption seems to be a catalyst for so many things that have been kind of waiting in the wings for some time to flood in very quickly, okay? So your Astro card, 11th house, community, beautiful. I mean, Saturn in Aquarius, of course, the ruler of the 11th house, and Jupiter in Pisces, we've got this amazing capacity for growth, expansion, pushing the boundaries of things, really opening up to new ideas, new solutions. And for you, there's all of these amazing kind of tendrils coming out to connect with people that are very different. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised over the next few weeks how the universe starts to deliver all sorts of different backgrounds, all sorts of gifted individuals who are meant to be on your pathway through the course of 2022. Of course, this also links in with your hopes, your dreams, your ambitions, and with retrograde energy, especially Mercury in Aquarius until the 24th, an opportunity for you to come back into alignment with those, a sense and a feeling of almost coming back home to something that you'd had to put to the side, or you had to let go of, or it wasn't the right time, or perhaps you fell out of love with it. So there's a beautiful resurgence there. There's also a sense of utilizing technology in new ways, and perhaps going back and revisiting certain platforms, certain ways of communicating digitally and electronically, and having a bit of an overhaul or a rethink around that, so that you can really, I guess, put any message out that's important to you, or enable you to feel more aligned to the way that your energy is being expressed in that way. Okay, so this deck is called the Blindspot, and it packs a punch, Leo. It is an amazing deck for working with shadow aspects of what might be going on, and as it's titled Blind Spot, it often talks about things that we're not necessarily consciously aware of. So this is a message that's going to be valuable for you in January, for just kind of working introspectively with, journaling around. And these are sigils. Now, I'm actually going to give you the full message for this in the extended reading. You have number 73. This is an amazing deck to work with, though. I'd really encourage you to check it out. All of the decks are in the description box in the comment section underneath if you are interested. Okay, if you are joining me for the extended reading, I'm just going to invite you to think about a personal question that I might not have covered in the general reading here, Leo, okay? So just think about that for me just now. Okay. Do you know what? Normally, I reveal these in the extended. And I've just given you a reveal. So let's just take this as a little bonus message for you for this particular reading, okay? And I'll give you that in a second, but I'm going to go ahead and pull a couple of cards for you for that personal message. That's quite funny. Okay. Now I'm just going to give you some clarifying cards for this main spread. Queen of Cups obviously has something to say. I love that she's connecting into that healing earth. So I have a sense about this being some sort of beautiful healing that's coming in, especially around that Cancer full moon, okay? So it's going to be a beautiful time if you're seeking any kind of healing modality, or you want to revisit anything that can help you to rebalance your chakra system or work with you in a more intuitive way, okay? So 7 of Earth, coming in with the 8 of Cups, the Hanged Man, and there's your card, the Energy of Strength. Okay, we have the Seven of Swords, Seven of Wands. Okay, so your King of Wands, what else do we want to look at here? Nine of Swords, Page of Cups. Okay, Knight of Wands coming in. Beautiful. Water sign there, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, perhaps relevant with that Ace of Cups coming in. Another King, beautiful. I think January can be far more abundant than perhaps you anticipate if you allow yourself to make these changes and really open up to some new ways of doing things. Keeping the lines of communication open and not trying to be too fixed. And it's not a month to be stubborn, it's a month to be as flexible and open-minded as you possibly can be. Definitely discerning though. Knight of Cups, beautiful. Okay, Ten of Swords is coming in with a Wheel of Fortune. That's what I mean. I feel like that situation is kind of over very quickly. It comes and it goes. It might be a little bit surprising though, take you by surprise. Yeah, Tower energy. But you recover very quickly. Beautiful, Empress. Okay, just one more here, Leo. Another Four of Cups. Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to join me for the extended, you can find the link in the description box and the comment section underneath. Be sure to tune back in with this reading throughout the month, as the messages will be more resonant when the energies are unfolding. And if you have enjoyed, please do drop me a like and a comment. Let me know how it resonates for you, and I will see you again real soon. I'm sending you beautiful blessings for this month. You take care.